everyone, it's your girl Benny, and I'm back. Woof, I had a really rough last 2 weeks. Um, I was taken to the hospital precisely last Tuesday, and I had a crazy COVID-19 scare. Like, I literally had a bad fever. I had I couldn't breathe. Like, I'm like, oh my god, what's going on with me? Is this it? And it just turns out that I just needed to do a little resting and recuperating. I'm thankful to be here, and come with me. I've got something to tell. So today we're going to talk about communication. Um, Before I proceed to explain in simple terms what communication is, I must let us know that the communication is the bedrock of your business. Your business depends so much on communication that even if you are trying to put your products or your services out there, the wrong use of words can cause a miscommunication between yourself and the company, and the customers as well. You can Miscommunication can literally drive your employees in the wrong direction, regarding what they should be representing and what they should be putting out there on behalf of your brand. Now, that being said, let's go down to the basics of communication. Communication is the act or the state in which information is transferred from the sender, who is the originator, to the receiver, who is the recipient of the piece of information. Now, communication goes in three components. It works in three components. So there are three components of communication. A very effective communication system, that is, must contain these three things: the sender, who is the originator. Usually it's your business, your brand. Your brand could be yourself, or your brand could be your product, your service, whatever it is you're trying to deliver. That is the sender. The message is the information or data which you're trying to transit from the sender to the receiver. And then there's the receiver. Communication is not complete until the receiver to which it was targeted receives it. Now, so we're saying communication has the sender, the message, and the receiver. The communication channel is not complete for any message until the receiver understands and reiterates that understanding, or acknowledges that they have received it. So let me give you an example. You have a company and you have 10 employees, for instance, and you have to send out like a memo letting them know about certain changes in maybe management or operations. When you send out the memo, right, you, the originator, have put the message out there. The two stages have actually been accomplished, but say out of all those employees, only like 5 received the message, and maybe those people know about the upgrade. The others will keep operating based on the principles that have just been either updated or upgraded or changed, or they will be performing based on old or obsolete knowledge at the time, even if it's just 5 minutes ago. So communication is not accomplished until the recipient receives that information and acknowledges or gives some form of like confirmation saying that they have received it or they understand it. Because it's one thing to hear and it's another thing to understand. It's one thing to read and it's another thing to comprehend. Communication requires that there's articulate, clear, and concise information towards the recipient, and on the end of the recipient there's a comprehension. So you might be talking to people, you might have a meeting, and you might be communicating with like a group of people, and you're not able to how would I explain it? They're not able to comprehend what you're saying. So you might be making a whole lot of sense. What you're saying is actually maybe the facts, right? But then the comprehension on the end of the receiver also comes into play. Now let's get down to how it affects your business. So say you have products that you're trying to sell. You putting your brand or your goods or your services out there requires you to communicate with your target market. When I say communicate, I'm not saying start looking for who to talk to individually. No, we're talking about the entire audience. So you have to find a way to reach out to them and for them to also digest and comprehend whatever it is you're doing out there. The major problem in many businesses is they have the right product. They have great products, great innovations, they have a wonderful setup and they have it all figured out when it comes to the brand. But then getting the customer or your target audience to understand exactly what it is you're trying to sell to them is a different ball game. And usually it's not the easiest of things. It comes as a very major task. You see big multinationals selling, spending so much on advertising. They pay expert companies, advertising gurus, because it is very important. Initially I thought it was madness, like, oh my goodness, this company, my previous place of work, they had about $2 million per month in advertising. And I'm like, look, I really don't know why you need to spend so much in advertising. But then when I saw that they were dealing with many things, you have market conditions, things change, the world may change. Like now, many companies that weren't prepared were thrown into this COVID situation, and then those that were prepared actually had a plan for contingencies and how they would reach out to their customers should in case a scenario like this came up. So suddenly we saw the difference in the way different companies handle their business. Some were abreast of the situation and some completely lost it for a while. So what I'm trying to say is the reason why many companies spend so much on advertising and branding is to make sure that their target audience, their clientele, their customers get the right message. So I might have a wonderful product, but if I'm not selling the right message, you're going to misunderstand it and you're probably not going to buy it from me. And that's for a fact, right? So it happens every time. Like sometimes I see certain things and maybe the theme message or the core values of the organization don't just make any sense. And I'm looking at the product. This is a great brand. The quality feels good, or the quality tastes good, or the quality is literally of high standard. But then you now turn around and see that the way they've tried to communicate the brand to you hasn't really made much sense, right? So communication is the bedrock of your business. In summary, it should be clear and concise. There should be comprehension on the end of your receiver. You cannot give up until your receiver understands and acknowledges and confirms that they do understand the information or the data you're trying to transit, or you're trying to transfer across, or you're trying to send or portray. People operate differently. That's another thing. So when you have, like, let's say your goods are essential goods, for instance, some people may not do well with sitting down and listening to maybe a radio commercial, but a social media ad would work for them. And then there's some people who really don't care much for sponsored posts or social media, but a TV ad will work for them, or say a YouTube ad. There are many ways now you can reach your customers. I can list them again. You can reach them through social media, which is like the #1 trending means of communication now. You can reach them through YouTube. You can reach them through TV ads, radio ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, as I said, on social media. You can reach your customers by merely engaging in community forums. That's another angle. There's different platforms where you can sell your products, advertise, and also get in touch with people to engage in your product. So the basis of this whole thing is communication is the pillar and the bedrock of your business. Do not underestimate the importance of communication and how you present your brand and how you present yourself and how you present your products or your services or how you present your company. No matter how little, always do your best to appear and present yourself professionally for the sake of your brand. Do not compromise on quality. Do not compromise on the clarity and the conciseness, if there's a word like that, of your message or your brand. Make sure that whatever it is you're trying to put out there, that the customer gets it, that whoever works under you gets it. They get the vision, they get the mission, they get the goals, they get the operation standards and the rules and regulations of your organization. All these factors surrounding your business, you have to get it in place, or else it would affect what you're trying to sell, even if you have the best of intentions. So, that being said, again, I am so thankful and grateful that I'm able to speak with you again. I hope you did enjoy this. Please kindly subscribe for more videos like this that have to do with entrepreneurship and the business and our core values, as people trying to make it in the business and e-commerce space. So, see you again some other time, and thank you for staying with us. Enjoy the rest of your week or weekend, whichever it is. I don't know, but just know that I'm here and I'll be back again with more information. Bye.